What is happening, and welcome to another four-wheel drive talk episode. And friends, today I am clearly out of my studio, which is a big plus. Matter of fact, I just got back. I was actually up in Lake Cachuma this week, and actually up with a buddy of mine, John with Sports Rig, with his micro expedition trailer called Trail Stopper. We absolutely had a blast up there, and actually, FYI, any of you guys that are considering or actually in the Santa Barbara area and considering about camping, I highly recommend Lake Cachuma. Not only is the water levels way up, but then also, if you're lucky, which I was woken up about midnight with a rumble, and I look out my tent window and one of SpaceX rockets was taking off, and then you saw the booster coming down. So this is going to be actually, I'm going to try to coordinate another camping trip during one of the next launches up there and bring the little guy up there because he would absolutely love that. But at any rate, so today, friends, we're going to be talking about a new edition. Yeah, this happens to be one of the more exciting updates that I've made to my Turtleback trailer here. And the fun part about this, or what we're going to be talking about in this video here, even if you don't have a Turtleback Expedition trailer or Turtleback trailer period, if you have a rooftop tent on top of your trailer, this is a video you're going to want to tune into. But before we dive into all the good stuff that I'm going to share with you, what I did to this here, look, putting these videos together is a lot of work. I mean, it takes getting out of the office, pulling me out of my office, and I'm being a little sarcastic here because I love getting out of the office. But where I'm leading with this, it does require a lot of work to put these videos together. And if you find some value, if you could go down and crush the heck out of the like button, friends, it really does help enormously. And as a little token of gratitude for you doing that, I'm going to put a non-embarrassing photo of myself taken from a little while back. But seriously, folks, thank you very much. That said, pull up a seat and come on, let's go. All right, when I picked up my Turtleback trailer, I had ordered it with a Rhino Rack Batwing awning, which the awnings are normally mounted into these brackets right here. You have one on the front, you have one in the back. Now, the problem with this here is, look, if you have, as you can see here, let me make sure I can point where I need to. If you have a larger rooftop tent on top of your setup here, if you want to keep things kind of symmetrical and so forth, as you can see, if this awning bar goes up, it hits the tent, and especially when you consider this tent folds out this way. So which means either you are vertically challenged, meaning this is the highest that the awning's going to go, in which here is, that's about a 5-foot clearance. And so with that there, you barely have enough room to get into when the refrigerator door opens up right here. It hits there. So I started tooling around with some ideas, and that is, friends, what I'm going to share with you here today. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I've put together here. Then I'm going to explain what I've done. All right, let me share with you what is happening here now that I've partially deployed my Sparks Overland tent here. So normally, as you can see, with this tent centered on top of the trailer right here, you can see there's roughly about a good 9-10 inches of clearance that is needed here. So if my awning was mounted on the original brackets right here, again, you can see my problem. I would only be able to have the awning about this high before hitting this, which is a big problem. Now, that said, I know there are people out there that have kind of these brackets that bring the awning out here. They're kind of bolted onto the sides here. But the problem with that is your awning is permanently in a fixed position out here. And I started thinking there had been an easier way that I can create something here utilizing pretty much the platform that I had and create a, what as you can see is a telescopic awning bracket here. So what I did is I ordered from Unistrut up in, I want to say they're up in Ohio. This is 1 3/4 inch. This is 1.5 inch. Now these are square perforated, galvanized tubing. Now I'll get to a caveat here in a moment, or a thing I'm likely going to change in the future. So in what you can see now, I reached out to or ordered from Tough Stuff Overland, which, by the way, you guys need to order things from them. These guys are blazing fast. But I had to order a couple sets of the channels, or I'm sorry, the little brackets that kind of slide in here. I'm not sure what the hell they are, but I'll put it on the screen. And so as you can see, I'm utilizing the stock rail of the tent itself. And this is pretty common for a lot of rooftop tents. So chances are, if you have a rooftop tent, you have kind of, again, I'm not sure what they call this cavity or this track here, but anyways, you probably have something pretty similar. If you don't, you can still get additional clamps that you can put in there and utilize it. Again, utilize as I have, because what I'm sharing with you here, this is a rocket science. This is a pretty simple system. I don't know whether somebody has come up with it before, but I've never seen it. So for now, until somebody shows me otherwise, I'm going to say I'm going to take credit for this. So I have two 40-inch galvanized square tubing or perforated tubing here. I have, this is the L bracket that the awning came with here. I used a couple big heavy duty bolts in there. There is some Loctite on those. And then what happens is, as you can see, when I get to location, as what you just saw, I pop these pins out, which go into those holes really nice, pull it out, and as you can see, now I have the clearance to launch my awning. And when this opens up, I'm 6 foot tall right here, so this is probably a good 7 feet up in the air here. So I have plenty of clearance for any tall people and so forth. And when I'm going to close up everything, which you'll see here in a moment, friends, all I do is, so on location, you can either put the pins in there, or if you want, or don't if you don't. And better yet, one of the cool things with this as well, this comes way out. So now that's a little stuck there, because one of my little things that I do need to change here is I think I'm going to move to a 1 3/4 inch solid tubing, because as you just saw, they're pulling this out a little bit there. It's getting a little sticky, even with the lubricant that I put in there. And I think that's because this is exposed to a bunch of dirt and debris that may be coming in there. And so if I use a solid piece of 1 3/4 inch, that's going to keep everything in there. That's going to be less of a mess. Which also reminds me, one of the things I'm going to be doing here as well, if I don't find a use for this, for extending this out like this, I don't know, maybe I'll stick a solar panel in there. I don't know yet. But one of the things I was thinking, if I'm going to maintain this, so just kind of sharing with you the flexibility of this, there are 8 10-inch little actuators, little rams that you can put on here. And then of course, I would run that through my I would run that through my RedArc Red Manager. And when I get to location, it pops the thing out, the 8 to 10 inches of clearance that it needs. And then when I leave, I trigger it again and it closes everything up. It's all automated. I don't know whether I'm going to go to that extent, because manually pulling this out is really not much to it. And then also, I can't help to think that either I can use that to hang clothes on, or towels or fishing poles or something. I don't know yet. But again, I'm sharing because this is really exciting. This has been one of those, I love my Turtleback trailer, and it is hands down the best trailer. And for my needs, it really checked off so many darn boxes. But the awning was one of those, because again, you have a couple options. You can either offset the hell out of your tent, push it way over, or you put a fixed kind of awning bracket out there that kind of hangs off there full time. So this really solves a problem. Yeah, and I absolutely love it. So I'm sharing it with you. So hopefully you find some value with that, and you can apply this to your rig as well. I mean, a telescopic awning bracket, how stinking cool is that? And then when I'm ready to go, I'm going to close the tent. Boom. Okay, and when I'm ready to leave, as you can see, the tent is now packed up. All I do is push in. I have one pin on the front. I'm going to pop it through the closest hole here. Oh. It normally goes a little quicker than that.
That's what she said.
Alrighty, so I'm gonna take the second pin, same thing. Pop that in, and boom. And so, as you can see, this is tucked in pretty darn close. Actually, as you can see, the L bracket, it is snug. I could probably go out a little bit with it, but that's the closest hole. So as you can see there, the point where I make with it, that is nice and snug. And so taking a step back, from a symmetrical standpoint, that looks fantastic. We don't have the tent hanging way off to one side. It is extremely secure on there. That is not going to go anyplace. Even when it's hanging off, I can do pull-ups off of that thing. And there you go, friends. This is my awning bracket. You know, actually, it's my telescopic awning bracket. I've been working on this for a little while. I'm super excited about this. It works absolutely fantastic. And so actually, technically this weekend when I was up at Lake Achuma with my buddy John with Sports Rig, one of the things I was supposed to be, I wanted to do up there was film that, but you know how it is, and didn't get to do it. So of course it's Monday and I'm out here, I'm filming this to share it with you folks. Now, as I shared with you earlier, I have some potential changes I'm going to be making to this here in the future. One of which is going to be moving to a 1 3/4 inch solid piece of tubing around that. That will keep all the dirt, debris, water from mucking up or getting inside there, which could create friction later down the line. And then the other thing which I'm on the fence about, I don't know, what do you think? Would a 8 or 10 inch ram or hydraulic on there controlled by the Red Arc, would that be cool, or is that just simply too much? Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on that. But anyway, if you have questions about dimensions or anything like that, speaking of comments, leave a comment down below. And if I have an answer, friends, I'll be happy to share it with you. If you want specs or anything on it, I'll be happy to share it with you. Just let me know. But friends, that is all I have here for you today. As always, it is an honor. I love getting in front of you folks and sharing little things like this, and hopefully you found some value with this. If you did, do me a favor, go down below this video, crush the hell out of that like button, hit the subscribe button, and when I start modifying this in the future, YouTube is going to do its whole notification thing and send you a heads up that that video is primed and ready for you to give it a watch. But friends, that is officially all I have here for you today, so I'm going to be shutting off these cameras. You get out there, stay healthy, and find your adventure.